Brookvale Oval in Sydney. It's the Manly Sea Eagles versus the Sydney Roosters.
Autumn has arrived at Brookvale Oval and the Manly fans will be hoping for back-to-back wins at home, while the Sydney Roosters fans will be hoping they can also make it 2 wins in a row, and even Australian idol Casey Donovan is showing her true colours here tonight. Let's look at the two teams. Manly is as per program 1 through 17. Ben Kennedy will captain the side. Travis Burns and Matt Orford are getting a great understanding there in the half. Steve Maddai is back after missing a couple of weeks with a calf injury. The coach is Des Hasler. The Roosters have one minor change. Adrian Morley will start the game in jumper number 17. That pushes Chris Flannery back to the interchange bench. Anthony Tupou will play his 50th first grade game tonight. The coach is Ricky Stewart. Tony Archer is our first grade referee. Manly with the advantage of the breeze in the first half, and Amos Roberts gets us underway, and the Sea Eagles with first touch of the football, and there's the body contact. Nathan Astor missed Jason King, but Fitzgibbon was there to tidy him up. Now here's Kite. It was an ordinary pass for him out of acting half from Monahan and just stopped his run slightly. Here's Watmo. Ball there to Menzies. There was half a gap there too. Stephen Menzies not happy because Watmo, I don't think he was expecting the pass from Anthony Watmo, but if he took it, Menzies would have taken some stopping.
Yeah, but I don't think Des Hasler would be happy with that at all. I'm sure both coaches, knowing both teams are slow starters and have been slow starters this year, would want them to complete at least the first 5 or 6 sets. Get to their kicks, play the ball down the other end of the field.
Right here, get it right from the start. Heads in, ball in, out.
So good field position here for the Roosters. Finch at lock and Astor dumbing to Minicello on the inside. And is tackled 20 metres out from the Manly line. And Astor plays it. Now, here's Fitzgibbon. Inside the 20 he goes. Both teams have been slow starters in 2006. Shackleton straight through, beats one, dragged from behind by Watmo, only had the fullback to beat. Manly under siege early. First set here for the Roosters. And Astor stepping off the left. The defence holds on this occasion. Kite was over the top. Quick play the ball. Harrison with the dummy. Just a metre out from the line. Last tackle here for the Roosters. Can Manly hold for another tackle? And Astor with a kick. Off the uprights. Did Soward get that right hand on the football? We're going to check with our video referee, Steve Nash.
Yes, onside and grounding.
I think he grounded it. I think it's a try.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem there at all. Braithen Astor, you saw the experience. He composed himself, had a look at the hole, aimed for the uprights. There are big goalpost pads on the uprights here, big target to aim at. Got the rebound, through Brett Stewart out of sync at fullback, and Jamie Soward, I have no doubt he comes up with a try. Well onside, Scotty, and I think it's a fair put down.
Yeah, you'll see there, all players onside. Great work there from the kicker, Brett Finch, but all he really had to do there was just put his weight down on the ball, and I think he's done that without any problems whatsoever. And as we go to the video referee for the first time tonight.
And if awarded, it will be the second quickest try so far this season. Milton Fireday in round 1 scored one for the Knights, a minute 39 in. This is a minute 49. Let's see it again. Steve Nash wanting to see. I think that's all right. That's downward pressure.
I think it always looks a little dodgy when you slow it down frame by frame, but normal speed, I don't think there's any problem there at all. I think there's downward pressure. In fact, if I was Ricky Stewart, it's not ruled a try, I'd be really blowing up.
He's got his hand on that football. Put downward pressure, as you mentioned, Wayne. Steve Nash, our video referee. I think that's fair enough. And the Roosters, their first touch of the football in the game, coming from the error made by Manly inside their own 30. And they will get a start. There's Ricky and Ronnie Palmer on the touchline. Here's the decision from Steve Nash. And I'm suspecting it's a try. And there it is, benefit of the doubt. Well, I suppose it's a try, and I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen benefit of the doubt in that situation before. We tend to see it when there's players obscure, but perfectly weighted kick there through by Braithen Astor, aimed at the uprights. And it's a ploy we see utilised by a lot of half, 5/8s, a lot of kickers nowadays, because the goalpost pads are so large, a big target. And Brett Stewart at fullback had no opportunity there to get the ball. Jamie Soward, and what a player Jamie Soward has shown himself to be at first grade in terms of try-scoring ability. He's on the ball, loves to come up and support those bigger guys when they're in broken field play as well.
And Fitzgibbon adds the extra, so the Sydney Roosters lead by 6 points to 0. And so a dream start for the Roosters after their first halves have been very, very ordinary. In the last couple of games, particularly against Melbourne when they were beaten, and against Canberra, they were trailing
Stay behind.
by 10 points with half an hour to go and ended up winning by 30-odd.
Yeah, but you have a look at what that particular try came from, and it came from a silly error on the first set of the game, an unforced error deep inside their own territory. And as I said, I'm sure the instructions would have been complete your sets, safety first, get down the other end of the field, but lack of discipline, brain explosion on that occasion.
And for the 4th time in a row this season, Manly failed to score the first points of the match. They've trailed in every game they've played.
Go.
This is Shackleton. About a metre over the 20-metre line, right in centre field. Minicello, penalty.
You got to make it. Anthony, you got to make it.
Anthony Watmough, the man being penalised.
All of them. The whole line.
Well, it's not a great start, is it? First 2 sets, they've been one in defence up this end of the field for the Roosters. And then the first set of 6, they come out of their own end. They've turned over possession cheaply twice now. So they're in attacking position again, the Roosters. This could really shock the Eagles.
Morley plays it. This is Shackleton. He's heavily involved, bouncing off tight. And he's lost the football, has he? No, Travis Burns tried to steal it. The referee said no. It's the Roosters' ball. Minicello back on the inside. Loses it forward. Stewart picks it up. And so Manly survive that raid. And we've got an injured Manly player there. See Monahan just trying to get some feeling back in his shoulder. He goes into acting half now. That left shoulder, there he is. Just trying to get some feeling back into it. Watmough running across field slightly before straightening, 20 metres out from his own line. This is Kennedy up towards the 30. Orford, they kick early. Manly using the breeze, which is at their back in the first half, but straight down the throat of Minicello on his own 20, up to the 30 before he meets the defence. The kicker was up there to assist the tackle of Travis Burns, and Menzies coming in late. Able to slow Minicello down, so their defensive line is set, and Cross was tackled on the 40.
Anthony.
Another slowish play the ball from the Roosters. Fitzgibbon. Watmough under the rib cap, forcing him back. Dominant call, says the referee, so they can slow him down on this occasion.
Off Brent.
Morley. Kennedy in there to make the tackle.
And they just look so much better side, the Roosters, when Morley's out there on the field. Gives them a sense of authority, sense of control in the round and then around the rucks.
You're right. An outstanding kick. Sorry, Sats, on that occasion from Fincher. Just trickled over the touchline. And it was going to be picked up at first by Hicks, but he watched it go. And patience there means that Manly get the loosened feed 10 out from their own line. You're right there, Junior. With Adrian Morley, they're not a really big forward pack, the Roosters. When Morley comes back, he's that person that puts that dent into them in the late in the tackle count, gives their kicker a chance to get the ball on the front foot. He's a person they've really been missing, especially in the first half of these games. So Manly now with the hard work of working it out from their own end again. Matai has missed a couple of weeks with a calf problem. King straight at Finch, and held on and made a very good tackle. Soliola there to assist and gives away the penalty.
After I call tackled, don't come up with the football.
Yeah, well, the basic piggyback penalty there in and around the rucks, a lack of discipline from the Roosters. And I think it's important that players like Brent Kite tonight step up to the mark. He's got to get involved like this. We want to see a lot more go for, a lot more thrust, because we're seeing too many times Ben Kennedy, who should be hunting out on the edges, coming in, taking first receiver plays up over the advantage line.
King, 30 metres out, right in centre field. This is Kennedy Back on the angle, right into the heart of the Roosters' defence. And they make the tackle. One of those in there, Nigel Plum. Orford looking for runners. Menzies, not quite into his chest. Throws it out the back. Picked up there by Hicks on tackle number 4. Bell. Now Burns kicking, but no one chasing. And we'll go with the dead ball line, will it? By a bounce or so, but no one from Manly, I think, knew what Travis Burns was doing. There certainly wasn't a chase.
It looked like a lack of communication on that occasion. I suppose you've got to give a little bit of leeway to Travis Burns in terms of he's only been up in the 5'8" role for a couple of weeks, but it's something that they've got to do. They've got to communicate the calls out wide, and they really need Matty Orford and Travis Burns to provide the link for the backs out wide, because get the ball to Bell as often as possible.
Plum through the tackle of Maddai, but not Orford. Quick play the ball. Finch hunts down the blind side again before changing the focus of the attack to Fitzgibbon. Thought about passing on his left, and they certainly had the Manly defence stretch there. They had about 5 on 3. Soward, now Anasta. Harrison back on the inside, Minicello. Kite made the tackle. Last here for the Sydney Roosters, 20 metres out from the line. Soward puts it high. Here comes Amos. Went backwards and Orford's come up with it. Michael Robertson was the man leaping. The ball's loose and Stewart's lost it. And Amos Roberts has come up with it. Soward throws the dummy. And he just let go. Then Monahan. Soward gave the pass away. Monahan was offside and let go. And Adrian Morley has scored the try. Well, that was ordinary from Manly. Kennedy arguing with the referee. He's still talking to him.
Tell you what I called. All off. I'll tell you what I called. If you want to listen, but if you don't, that's fine. You can go back over there. What I said was, all back. From your bloke back to Matt Orford, then it was a knock on, play the ball, try.
I'm talking about when they kicked it.
No, I've told you what the decision is, Ben.
I'm not talking about that.
Ben,
mate, can I just
I'm
ask
not
you
going to discuss it. I've told you what I called. That was the call.
You're not listening on. From their bomb, you called them all off. They come in and impeded our man. He dropped it, which caused the ruckus.
I did not call all off. Go back. Time back on.
Well, it all came back to the error here from the Manly side. Brett Stewart loses possession. Quick play the ball. The Manly defence is scrambling. They're going backwards. And when you're going backwards against a big man like Morley on your own try line, you've no chance of stopping him.
It was basic error. 2 basic errors now up their end of the field that's put the Eagles behind their try line. Matty Orford then cleans up the ball from that bomb. Probably not a pass that in hindsight he probably would never throw again. Puts his team under enormous pressure this early on in the game. You see Adrian Morley, first game back for a few weeks suspension, gets across the white stripe.
Doesn't score too many, Adrian Morley. Here's Fitzgibbon. And Manly has given the Roosters a healthy lead, 12 points to 0. And I say Manly has given the Roosters a healthy lead because that's exactly what they've done.
Well, it certainly is. And it comes from 2 forced passes that didn't need to be thrown, that went to ground, that gave possession to the Roosters, that resulted in tries. You know, they're cutting their own throat, Manly, trying to force passes down their end of the field that don't have to be thrown.
This next set of 6 for the Eagles will probably be a big telltale sign. They can either stand up here and stop this go forward from the Roosters, because the last set of 6, the Roosters just marched up this field very easily. The Eagles have got to stop being pedestrian in defence, get up in the face of the Roosters, start taking a bit of a fight to them.
Fitzgibbon runs at Menzies, who makes the tackle up towards the 30-metre line. Harrison. 15 short of halfway. Roosters end of the field. They've only had 11 minutes and they lead by 12. Cross.
Movement! Hold.
Here's a high kick from Anasta. It's a wobbly old one into the breeze. Stewart does well. Now they just want to get to their kick here, surely, Manly.
Well, they did. They've been throwing away possession. I mean, have a look at this. 72% of possession the way of the Roosters so far in this game. The game's been played in this end of the field, and Manly haven't been able to offer much resistance.
Bell. There's Desi Hasler looking on. He'll be a worried man at the moment. Orford inside to Watmo. Solid defence. Back to Menzies. Orford. Kennedy changing the direction. Back towards the middle of the ruck, looking to pop it, but decides to hold on. 35 away from the goal line. Monahan out of acting half, skirting for a couple of metres. Maddai on the outside of Soud, but Amos Roberts came in to make the tackle. Last here for Manly, and they're 20 away from the goal line. Ordinary play the ball. Now Orford kicks it back across the ruck. Robertson leaping high, pops it back to Stewart, who's over in the corner. Did he take the corner post or the touch line?
Last tackle, Nashi, checking the corner post.
It was perfectly weighted. The support players were there, both onside. Not a problem there with the onside. And as we can see, it's fumbled. Well, actually, he gets up high to get the football there, so it was great work. And this is the question mark. Does his leg go over the touch line? Well, you can't tell conclusively from that angle. We can't sort of get a...
It's the touch line.
I'm going to say it's touch line. I'm going to say we need another angle to conclusively say that this might give us a better look at it.
Well, we're looking at benefit of doubt like the first try from the Roosters. I think the benefit of doubt's definitely going to be here. I think benefit of doubt, you've got to give it to him.
That's a try.
That's a try. Clearly, I don't think there's any doubt about it from that angle.
And Steve Nash with the decision. He's been busy so far. Try to Brett Stewart. His 23rd try in 23 matches at Brookvale Oval. What a terrific record. A breeze. That is back. That's what's in front of him. It's coming back nicely. Has it got the legs? It certainly has. Terrific kick from Matt Orford, and that will give the side a huge lift. They're back to within 6, 13 gone.
Yeah, you're right. It was always important to see how they're going to react to it. They reacted in the best possible way. Now they can get a little bit more confidence about what they do in this next set of 6. They must get to a kick. They must keep pressure on down this end of the field to the Roosters.
It's an important set. A shallow kick there from Roberts. Here comes King. And crossfield. Finch was over the top. Around the legs was Plum. Kais running on an ankle, and it was easy meat for the defence of Soliola. Hit him very solidly. Amos Roberts was in there as well. Maddai showing the football.
Move! Ashley,
Monahan at acting half. Here's Kennedy. Good tackle, but a great offload. Back to Maddai. Picks up an extra couple of metres. Surrender tackle was the call, which means they can slow it down a little bit. Now kicking on 4 from inside the 40. It's going towards the 20-metre line. They better hurry up and get back there, and Perrott does so. And that was a good set from Manly. The chase was pretty good also. Orford missed the tackle, but Burns tidies up.
There's a good long kick there from Michael Monahan. There's no breeze whatsoever here tonight, so it's going to be very, very tough to come up with a 40-20. And they've just got to make sure they get their kick chase right. Manly, it was good on that occasion. They need to stay aggressive in defence.
Hold! Go.
Morley.
4!
5 short of halfway. Roosters end of the field. And Asta. Now Fitzgibbon.
Last one!
Roosters fans thought that was a highish tackle from Travis Burns. Here's the kick from Anasta. That's a difficult one here for Stewart. Anasta gets his own kick, keeps it alive to Finch. That was accidental offside.
Manly ball! Manly ball!
Well, maybe it came off a Manly foot. I thought it was kicked by Finch into his own player, but in the end, Manly get possession anyway.
2! We coming.
Maddai.
Last 23 appearances. Amazing story.
Monahan.
It looks pretty bland sort of stuff by Manly, but it's smart play. The Roosters getting up real quick. They're not taking any risks. They're trying to get over the advantage line, trying to get the quick play of the ball, just trying to get some field position.
Stand up! Hold! Hold! Go.
Here's Orford kicking for the touch line. Minicello just watches it cross the touch line. And so Manly will get a bit of a breather, and the Roosters will have to work it out from inside their own 20. They lead by 12-6. 24 minutes of play remaining until half-time.
They've worked themselves into a very good pattern now, the Manly Seagulls, after a bad start. I'll give a rap to Adrian Morley. for the Roosters. He's getting over that advantage line, like you said, Junior, the best time to try and get some field position. He's added some size and a bit of aggression to this Roosters side. He's getting across the advantage line, and he's getting on the front foot every time for this Roosters side.
Minicello. Madai around the legs. Watmo over the top, and they give away a penalty. And a comment made as well.
Up here's your mark.
Well, you're never going to win those battles as a player, so I mean, all it does, it gets you on the back foot, and Manly now are going to have to defend their goal line at some point in this set.
You don't help yourself when you got your hands on the player and looking around to see whether your defence is set there.
I forget there's not just the referee's eyes, there's the touchy's eyes, and also you've got the video ref tipping to the referee during the course of the game as well, so it's a no-win situation.
Morley plays it. This communication between Finch and Shackleton bounced nicely though for Anasta, and Kennedy and Menzies combined to bring him to ground. Finch. Cross. No way through for Ryan Cross. He's 10 metres away from the goal line. So a good opportunity here for the Roosters. They've got 2 tackles. Anasta. Soward. A Plum going on the inside, on the outside to Soliola. Steve Madai in front of him. Pops it back to Amos Roberts, who's taken to ground finally. About 12 metres short of the goal line. Here's the last tackle. Watmo, the last man up. Finch. Cross-field kick to the wing of Hicks. Here come the Roosters. Perrott, was he taken out? Did he get a hand to it? Knock on.
Change over. Back there, Craig. Craig, here's your 10. Wait.
Yeah, good defensive set there by Manly. They were horrible in the first round loss to the Raiders at this very oval, that when they were sliding on their try line. They've changed their defensive pattern. On their try line, they're getting up in the faces of the opposition, and it's really frustrating. Oh, another error.
Great tackle, Fitzgibbon on Watmo, forcing the error, and now the Roosters find themselves 20 metres out from the line with 6 tackles up their sleeve. Fitzgibbon was the man that forced the ball free. Now Anasta to the line. Harrison running the straight line. The tackle was made by Menzies. Anasta. Back the ball goes to Shackleton. He's only a metre out from the line. Will the Manly defence hold? Anasta. Long ball, Soward straight through a yawning gap. Orford came up and took no one. Did he lose it?
That'll be tackle 3. I want to check an obstruction over there.
That allowed Jamie Soward to go through. We can see Morley come through. He stops. And, well, I mean, he does come into contact with Jason King, I think it is there, but I think there's no way that King would have got across to affect the tackle. But, well, he definitely does impede the progress of Jason King on that occasion. So there is a degree of obstruction. The question is, was he far enough away to... was he far enough away to sort of say, well, there's no way King would have got there anyway, but there's definitely an obstruction.
You see Jason King coming out of the line, trying to move across out towards where the ball's going. That's where Morley's obstructed him and left a gaping hole for Soward to go through. I don't think it's obviously intentional for Morley to take him out. I just think, seeing he's on that angle coming on from the inside out, Jason King, I believe it's a no try.
Yeah, I don't think Jason King would have got there, but it is an obstruction, and I think it will be a no try, be a red light.
Here's the decision. The ball was passed behind. No try penalty. Very minimal contact there.
Here it is. Here.
I got to say that...
Obstruction, mate. Stopped in the line.
I mean, it's a difficult one because, I mean, the video ref, I think, has to make an assessment there as to how mobile Jason King was. I mean, and I don't think Jason King would have got anywhere near Jamie Soward.
Well, Adrian Morley actually stopped when he knew that contact was going to be made. He pulled out of it, and the pass went behind Morley. But anyway,
the rule as it stands, you can't argue with the fact that it was a no try.
15 short of halfway. Roosters fans may disagree.
So I think you still
12 short of halfway now, Manly. Certainly has given the crowd something to cheer about. Oh, an Astor on Menzies. And that hurts Steve Menzies. You don't often see Steve Menzies struggle to his feet.
He's a big man, Braithen Astor. I mean, you sometimes forget about the sheer size and strength of him. He's got to be close to 100 kilos, and he plays a very physical sort of game. Comes out, up out of the line, and bang, there's contact there. Just to see Menzies Menzies' head jolt back.
Yes, I thought it was head on head. And the referee agrees.
Oh, yeah, from that angle we can see quite clearly it's head on head. And Steve Menzies has got the headgear on and he came off worse for wear. Braith and Astor must have a hard head.
Kennedy. So the video referee had a look at it and said play on. As Mark Bryant comes on for Jason King. Here's Orford kicking back across the ruck again. Here comes Travis Burns. Finch got an awkward bounce and had to pull the ball out of midair.
Good pressure again there from the Eagles. The good communication on those kicks. There's probably one good thing that's come out of this first half. You saw a very aggressive set and defence then from the Roosters in that last set of 6. Now you see this game starting to unfold in a very aggressive forwards battle. It's going to be interesting leading into half-time.
Perrott. Minicello. Always a danger with the football in his hands. Fitzgibbon. Back to Minicello. Soliola, they've got numbers here. If he can get on the outside of Maddai, turns it inside to Plum, who lost it. And now Orford picks it up. Came off his foot and Kennedy couldn't pick it up. And now the flop. There's your mark. Orford takes the quick kick and will find touch. Willie, only just. It was almost touch and goal. Amos Roberts sort of did go touch and goal, which would have been a 20-metre restart. Maddai. Monahan. This is Bryant, fresh on the field. Golden opportunity here for Manly. Monahan, what have they got? Nothing at the moment. Orford. Dummies to Maddai, then falls over. Soliola with the tackle. Disorganised play, that one for Manly. Bryant again. He had no one to pass to either.
3, come in, go. Hold.
Yeah, a little bit disorganised at times. I think Travis Burns needs to step up and take some of the pressure off Matt Orford.
Here he is now, Burns stepping, trying to weave through. Monahan keeping it alive back to Stewart. They're going backwards at the moment, Manly. Dummies to kick Orford under pressure. Keeps it alive to Watno. Now Maddai will pin the ears back and go for the corner. Minicello missed him. Sauer dropped off and Maddai is scoring the corner. 12-10 with a kick to come. A couple of missed tackles from the Roosters. And Steve Maddai pinned the ears back and Manly is back to within 2.
Yeah, well, the Roosters then on that occasion failed to shut the football down, and the Eagles, they weren't going anywhere, and this is the mistake that created the problem. Nigel Plum putting the football down, but the Roosters not killing the football. There's nothing doing there. Manly were just playing hot potato. They were disorganised, but they looked to work the ball back out to the left-hand side of the field as they did with the previous try. They realised that there's an opportunity out here. Jamie Soward, who's not a noted defender, is defending out on this right-hand side, and they're attacking him at every opportunity.
But the offloads killed them here. They've got numbers out here on the Manly's left-hand side. But this is an unpredictable side like Manly. That's how dangerous they can be. You saw that whole set of 6. They had nothing on. There was no direction from any of their senior players. And all of a sudden, they can construct a try out of nothing. That's how dangerous a side like this can be when they get their possession of football.
He kicked one from here last time, and he's going to kick another. This one's even better. It was straight over the black dot. 12 all. The Roosters led by 12. Manly have come back to level it. They've given head starts in the last few games. They've done it again.
There was Matty Orford from the sideline. Almost 2 kicks, exactly the same position, exactly the same result. He started this game as good as I've seen him play this season. He's taking control. They were a little bit disorganised on that occasion. I think Travis Burns needs to step up when Matty Orford finds himself in an area of the field where he can't dictate, but he's looking to put the variation in, and the Roosters are struggling to try and predict what he's going to throw at them.
I would suggest we're going to see a couple of changes from the Roosters shortly. Up towards the 40-metre line they go. Five short of halfway. Watmo over the halfway line, runs at Morley, who brings into ground. Orford kicked into Harrison, who's able to dive on the football.
There's a better set there from Manly. They got well over the halfway, but the last play option there from Anthony Watmo, he finished on a sideline, too hard for a kicker to get a clean kick away for his kick chase.
Fitzgibbon Now an Asta. Cross with the juggle. Somehow held onto it under pressure from Bell. What a battle's that going to be. There's Craig Wing, Anthony Tupou getting ready to come on. Won't be long before we see those two, and they can split a game open. Fitzgibbon on his back.
Anthony Tupou came on last week, scored 2 tries, really a handful in defence. And Ricky Stewart likes to throw both these players on when the opposition's starting to get a bit tired. Only 14 minutes out from half-time, perfect timing.
He lost that football then. Harrison, I'm sure it came out the back. Now Soward puts the ball high in the air. Robertson under it. Here's Amos. He's knocked it back. It's been knocked on there by Orford.
Change over.
He's going to rule a knock on
Here we go.
by Amos Roberts for the changeover. I thought it may have gone backwards from Amos Roberts there.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much a line ball decision. That obviously the touchy came up with the call that it went forward. And Manly, what are they doing? I mean, they've got themselves back into a position where it's line ball, silly mistakes, and they've got to just work the ball forward, roll your sleeves up, get over the advantage line, get the ball down the other end, and the Roosters are starting to tire.
Junior, it was Steve Menzies that threw the pass. Before it was Matt Orford that threw the ball that led to a try. You don't expect that from players of the class of Menzies and Orford. Kite offloading to Bryant. Tupou getting ready to come on for the Roosters. There's the kick from Monahan outside the 40. That's out on the full.
Because Manly, both teams are tiring, but Manly in particular look a little bit flat at the moment.
Minicello. Dummies to Soliola, and Maddai didn't take the tackle.
Hold. You got to move, mate. You got to move. That's simple.
Another penalty given away. To give the Roosters good field position. Anthony Tupou was on the field. That was the first interchange. Now Chris Flannery comes on, so that's interchange number 2. Morley taking it forward. And we're about to see David Shillington come on. Still no sign of Craig Wing. Harrison. Finch. This is Tupou. Ball out the back beautifully to Finch. Now they're a chance here. Harrison inside to Soward. They had the numbers out to the right. Screaming for it, Soliola.
Round the head, Ben. Round the head. Right there.
Well, the decision here for the skipper, Craig Fitzgibbons, 2 points or potential 6 points. They're going to take the 2 points, I think.
2 points.
And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, they've been in a situation where Manly have come back, put a couple of tries on them, steady the ship. Manly have been pretty solid on their line in the last 20 minutes.
Felt as though Archie was going to let it go there and play the advantage, because the Roosters had a big overlap and the Manly Seagulls are on the back foot coming into this try line. So you see Craig Wing and Shillington starting to warm up to come on. But I think it was that last action of Ben Kennedy's arm around the throat, the so-called grapple, as they like to say, is probably the reason why it tipped him over the line.
So from right in front, the third goal of the night for Craig Fitzgibbon. He edges his way towards 1,000 points, only 8 away from that mark. And he's immediately replaced, as is Brett Finch. Deep kick from Orford. In the in-goal area goes Roberts to take it and finds Morley. Runs at Kennedy. And Cuthbertson on for Manly. Shane Dunley out there as well, making that attempt to tackle on Shillington. There's Brett Finch on the bench. Harrison.
3. Hold.
Morley heavily involved on his return from suspension. Leads the hit-ups in the game by quite a margin. Soward from inside the 40. Stewart has it covered on his 20. Chris Flannery been called offside.
Go now.
He got the call to go and win. Stewart wished he hadn't. Cuthbertson.
It's been a pretty physical game, this one. I mean, both sides have looked to get plenty of shoulder into the tackles. The Roosters in particular have been aggressive from the word go. And Manly, give them some credit. Their forwards have really stepped up to the plate, particularly Brent Kite and Jason King. I think they've looked to take the ball forward every opportunity. And this guy here, Mark Bryant, he's played strongly since he's been on there as well.
Burns, now to Bell. who hasn't seen anywhere near enough football tonight, because that's what he can do when he gets the football in his hands, and he was in traffic there. Last tackle here for Manly. Orford looking to kick back across the body again, but the Roosters had read it well. Minicello immediately tackled by Menzies.
It was a good set there from Manny. Once again, a good kick, but the Roosters have obviously, they're aware of that kick right now as Tupou takes a good run. Sorry, Perrott. A lot of aggression and enthusiasm here from Manly. This is what they need to do. They needed to step up.
Morley tackled by Cuthbertson, able to offload. Bouncing away wing. They're going backwards at the moment. It's the Roosters. And Stephen Menzies comes up with another classic Menzies hit. Minicello tries to take some easy metres out of acting half. Tackle number 4 on the 20-metre line. Now Ryan Cross comes in. He runs across field. Kennedy there to make the tackle with Dunley. Last tackle. They don't want to give a penalty away here, Manly. Minicello. Not sure that he was the man that was supposed to kick the football, but it's not a bad kick, even though it's straight down the throat of Stewart. He brings it back towards the halfway line.
Yeah, well, that kick does put the Roosters back under pressure, because Manly now in a position back into the Roosters' half. The Roosters, we talked about Manly getting tired, but they've certainly got a rush of adrenaline. They've got a bit of a sniff that the Roosters now are starting to weaken leading up to half-time.
You can't read this game, can you? In 1 minute, Manly look out of it. Next minute, the Roosters...
Tremendous contest, end-to-end stuff, and also both teams are in a real arm wrestle at the moment.
Orford, Kennedy, good tackle. Soliola, though, couldn't wrap the football up. Comes back to Bryan. He flicks it out the back to Matai. And he's tackled 10 in from his western touchline. Robertson almost past Soliola. He grabbed the jumper and made the tackle. Last here for Manly. Orford points to the sky. It's going to go to the wing of Perrott. Here comes Hicks. Is it too far? No, it's perfectly weighted, but Hicks has lost the football.
Up there, boys.
Chris Hicks, he's a known high ball taker in the NRL, former Penrith plays. You see him on screen there, but Ryan Cross, just at the last minute there, just shielded his runners. You'll just see there as Hicks gets hold of the ball, but just can't complete it.
Well, the Manly crowd looking at the replay, oohing and ahhing, because Sam Perrott actually made contact with Chris Hicks while Hicks was in the air, so that could have easily have been a penalty to the Manly side.
Soward. Now Harrison towards the 40, tackled right on it, 10 short of the halfway line, almost lost the football as it got hit by the boot of Orford. Flannery, solid body contact there with Watmo over the halfway line. Wing off the hands of Orford, not played at, says the referee. Roberts picks it up, can't get away from Orford. Here comes Matai. That's tackle number 4. Soward inside Morley. Now he offloads and got one around the face for his troubles. Great ball, Soliola. Flannery with an no-look pass. Roberts back on the inside to Minicello. That is a magic Roosters try. Terrific rugby league from the Sydney Roosters, and they extend the lead. Flannery and Stewart in back play, but what about the ball from Chris Flannery?
Tremendous play there by the Roosters. This is the sort of thing they can do to you when you're tired, but put it back down to Steve Matai, who came in to make the tackle centre field. He's out of play. He's a left centre. He's gone centre field. They're short on this near camera side here, but what about the hands? Fantastic work. Great offload there. Flannery passes the ball blind, even on the inside. Tremendous support play by Anthony Minicello, who heads upfield whenever a break has been made. But the support play there, superb.
Great work there from the Roosters. Once again, when we said they look down out, no-look pass there from Chris Flannery to Famous Amos. Usually when he's involved in break and play, something is always going to happen. Once again, good fullback always following up the middle of the field. The Roosters have this uncanny knack of being able to turn nothing into something.
Well, Manly down the other end almost scored from the high kick from Orford. Junior thought he may have seen an infringement there, which could have led to a Manly penalty. And Amos Roberts converts the try, and it's now 20 points to 12 inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. And how often do we see tries scored at this time? Great ball, Soliola. Morley started as well with a good offload early in that play. 4 minutes out from half time. Oh, there's a big tackle there. Put on his back was Minicello by Cuthbertson. Here's Morley. Another hit up for him.
Short side, Matt Orford.
13 hit-ups for Adrian Morley. Next best in the game is Anthony Minicello with 11. No other forward in double figures yet.
And Chris Flannery, he's been more than a handful when he's been on there as well. Came off the bench today and really fresh off the bench. Got good hands on the edge of the ruck and as I said, really a handful for the Manly side.
Anasta puts it high in the air. Stewart under at 15 out, takes it magnificently. Under a bit of pressure as well. Left high and took it well. Just a study of concentration as Maddai takes it forward.
Yeah, we talk about his ability to break the line, his ability to finish Brett Stewart, but he's safe at the back, positional play sound and tremendous under the high ball. He is a tall player, so he can get up for those high balls quite comfortably.
Watmo trying to get the Roosters offside and he succeeds.
Not there, covers the hole.
He's had a couple of errors early on in the game, Anthony Watmo, but the last 20 minutes of this half, he's done his best to try and turn this game. He's come up with a couple of big tackles out of the line. He's look at here from the dummy half. Obviously, we see him taking one off the ruck and aiming it towards the back of the play of the ball, where a lot of the Roosters players are becoming a little bit lazy. So it's a good play from Watmo.
Can they score before half-time here, Manly? They're 30 metres away from the goal line. They trail by 8. Bryant, he's been impressive since he came on. Dunley out of acting half, dumbing inside first of all to Kennedy, but then passing to Burns. They're 10 metres away from the goal line. Orford inside, Kennedy 5 metres away from the line. 2 tackles left. Orford with the dummy. Flannery there made the tackle. Last tackle and Orford's the man playing the football. Where's Travis Burns? Not needed. Dunley with a crossfield kick. Hicks again. He knocked it down and Asta. If he'd picked it up, was away.
Double knock-on. Double knock-on. Change over here. Change over.
The Manly players, you could tell, didn't think Chris Hicks got a hand on it.
Over there, mate. Over there.
And it was a dangerous play as well, because it was a dangerous play for Manly because they all came through. The whole Manly team came through looking to chase that ball. There was no one at the back. If Braithen Asta picks that football up, there's no one covering defence. And he goes, if he doesn't go all the way, he goes a long way upfield. And yeah, they've got to be careful when they put the ball in the air that someone's covering the scraps at the back.
Wing out of acting half. 80 seconds away from the break. This is David Shillington. 4 Manly players to bring him to ground. Tupou. Sal. Stewart under it, takes it magnificently again and hits straight away by Minicello. What a take.
Great take there from Stewart. We had Amos Roberts hovering around the middle of the field here. Coming through with pressure on Stewart was a beautiful take by the Manly fullback.
7th bomb from the Roosters in the first half.
Stand up.
Watmo. Soliola. He thought about passing that Watmo. I thought he was going to. And discretion, the better part of valor there. He held onto it. Bryant.
Chris. You coming, Ashley?
Well, he's facing Beacon Hill when he played that, Mark Bryant. And luckily not to be penalised just short of half-time.
For our viewers that might not know where Beacon Hill is,
It was where he was facing straight through Stewart. If they score here, Manly, the Roosters will have every reason to be upset. Maddai with the dummy has bombed it. He had Robertson on his outside and blew it, and the half-time siren goes in the background. Half-time here at Brookvale Oval. It's Sydney Roosters 20, Manly 12.
No doubt, but he doesn't shirk his workload and he plays very much like a traditional front rower.
So the Roosters, first touch of the football in the second half, defending the southern end of Brookvale Oval.
Surrender! Hold! Hold! Go.
Up towards the 30.
Hold! Hold!
Very slowish play the ball as Tupou takes it forward. Cuthbertson in there, Menzies in there, Bryant's in there. And right down the bottom, last man to get up. The 5'8" Travis Burns. Here's a kick from inside 40 from Soward. It's not near the touchline. It's a good deep kick, and Some work here from Michael Robertson. And the kicker is the first man up there to make the tackle.
Perfect set there for the Roosters. They found ground with the kick at the end of Soward. Kicked it from well inside his 40 there. So perfect set to start off the second half. As a good offload to Steve Bell.
Over the 30. Every time he's touched the football tonight.
He very rarely ever gets tackled by the first man, does he? Always creates an opportunity for his players.
Dunley plays it. Cuthbertson at acting half to Kennedy. Watmo. Now to Orford. Now kick, looking for the corner. Minicello is back there, finding Perrott, giving him a bit of a run. Bounced away from Cuthbertson, but not away from Burns, and Cuthbertson comes again to make the tackle, 10 out from the line.
And that was a tremendous go-forward set there from Manly. They made about 70 metres in that particular set of 6 by just going over the advantage line. That should give them confidence that they don't need to push passes down their own end of the field. Play discipline, and you're going to get some yardage and play down the Roosters' end of the field.
Kennedy, a bit unlucky, he fell into that one.
Doesn't matter. Still high, mate. Swinging arm. It's coming across swinging arm, mate. And here.
Well, Ashley Harrison was sort of leaning low. There's no doubt there was contact with the head, so justified in giving a penalty there.
5 metres into Manly territory. Manly will be desperate to make sure that the Roosters aren't the first team to score in the second half. Morley, hasn't he been strong? First game back from suspension, making up for the couple of weeks he missed out.
It looks as though he feels a bit guilty for not having been out there the last couple of weeks. He's more than making up for lost time.
Tupou hitting a solid tackle there from Watmo. Wing. Now cross, trying to get on the outside of Bell, just threw the ball back over his shoulder, and very little that Craig Wing could do about it under pressure from Steve Menzies. He takes him across the touchline.
Well, it's very risky coming down the short side here, straight from dummy half from Craig Wing, giving a ball to Ryan Cross. He was just trying to get one-on-one with his man, but good anticipation by Stephen Menzies. Once again, turning over a good play for his side in a very dangerous situation for them.
And that's an example of Steve Menzies and his commitment in defence. We talk about the number of tries he scored. We talk about his capacity to break the line in attack. But his work rate and his punch in defence is very, very important to this Manly side in terms of the ability of their line to keep the opposition out.
Stand up.
Travis Burns is going to be penalised here.
I warned you at the start. I warned you at the start about the scent. I warned you at the start about the scent. He got up, he resented being tackled, that was fine. Then he went on with the swearing at me. Not acceptable.
May have in fact been Chris Hicks who's come in from the wing. Well, Travis Burns has had plenty to say all day. I think it was Chris Hicks, just in the back play there. Matai injured in the tackle. Amos Roberts from right in front. 23 out. Little trouble there. And that's his second goal of the night and extends the lead to 10. 5 into the second half. Just caught a sneak peek then of Casey Donovan, former Australian Idol winner. Scott Sattler tells me. Oh, and there's a solid tackle. She's a Rooster supporter, Sat says. Well, she's got the Roosters jumper on. What about this hit? Menzies and Bryant. More Bryant, I think, on that occasion.
Yeah, well, Mark Bryant put the shoulder in there, and it was a huge, huge whack. David Shillington was on the other end of it.
Certainly fired up Manly after that penalty.
There's Mark Bryant in there again. They realise they've got to get aggressive against this Roosters pack. The Roosters have probably put it over them a little bit in that first half on the back of Adrian Morley. But Manly, they don't want to go down without a fight.
Soward from outside the 40, inside the 40, I should say. Hicks saves it from going over the touchline. And there's a good chase there from the Roosters.
They have reacted well, the Eagles, every time they've had a call against them. As Bell gets it out of dummy half and Nelly gets through again. They have reacted very well on every occasion. They've done that again.
Cuthbertson. A couple of metres short of the halfway line. Manly's end of the field. Menzies. Dunning inside to Burns, going himself. 5 metres into Roosters territory. It could easily have been a penalty either way, I suppose. The referee says play on. Burns will play it on 5. Dunley at acting half. Orford under a bit of pressure from Tupou. It's a kick downfield that Minicello will field 15 out from his own line. A good chase again from Manly.
And sitting at home watching, you're probably thinking those little grubbers into the corners there probably might seem a little bit worthless, but what they are, they're trying to pin the Roosters fullback Anthony Minicello as far down in these corners as he can, so their defence is a little bit easier. Perhaps there's a good run there from Shillington, trying to get as much pressure on the attackers as possible.
Straight through Craig Wing. Flannery taken out in back play. They fell over the referee as well. Menzies just grabbing on to Flannery. And Wing is tackled 34 metres out from the line. Golden opportunity here for the Roosters to put the game away. Tupou had a chance on his outside to Ryan Cross unmarked, and they lost the football.
Well, Braithen Astor then probably the best thing for him to get through the hands, and he cut out a couple of players on that occasion. Very easy for the defence to slide towards the sideline. There's an early spread here.
And the juggle from Watmo, and they've recovered all right, Manly, as Manai pushes away from Soward, pushes away from Amos Roberts, and is finally taken to ground. Well, then they get a penalty, and the crowd at Brookvale Oval is quite happy with that one.
Very much a game of possession. Whoever's got possession is really dominating not only field position, but looks like scoring points. And now both teams are struggling in around that ruck, that play the ball area to try and stop the go forward from the opposition as well. Craig Wing starting to come into his own as well, because Manly are getting a little bit sloppy in that marker area.
As you can see, the Roosters, that's why they're leading, almost 60% possession. And there's another turnover from Manly. And so the Roosters, Braithen Astor didn't like the attention from Dunley. Oh, Morley going into a high tackle there from Travis Burns, and Braithen Astor didn't like it. You heard the referee say, I've got it. So one would suggest that Travis Burns is going to find himself caution at the end of this set. Here's Dunley getting a little bit frustrated as well. Wing out of acting half. Manly just losing the plot here a little bit. Completion rates very similar. And Astor, Harrison, Cross, Bell in front of him, pushed away from him, but Bell came again, and he's lost the football. Now let's see whether Travis Burns gets a quick chat.
Travis!
Well, Ryan Cross, he loves to get his right arm free for his wing. He was looking to get it free, and it was dislodged in the tackle of Travis Burns.
Let's keep the tackles down, okay? Ball in. Out.
So Manly in deep inside their own half.
Off now, Minnie!
Must be the next to score with half an hour to go. Watmo. Kennedy. 10 short of halfway. Orford in the blind side. King is back on. Made 5 interchanges. Bryant, the man he's replaced. Orford. Long ball to Burns. All the way through on that occasion. Last tackle here for Manly. Orford kicking out of acting half. Minicello. Here's Menzies. Has it gone backwards or did it go forwards? And Stephen Bell will score himself another try if Steve Nash awards it. He's already scored 4 in 4 games for Manly. This could make it 5 in 5, but I've just got a doubt as to whether or not it's legitimate.
Well, Matty Orford goes to the air. He hasn't gone to the air much tonight. He's preferred to go along the ground or put little chip kicks in. He goes to the air, and he had the chasers there. Have a look at him. Perfectly weighted kick, all onside. Not a problem on that occasion. The question mark is going to be whether or not he knocks the ball forward into Anthony Minicello before it rebounds. And I think he knocks it forward into Anthony Minicello. Rebounds into Stephen Bell's hands. But because it was knocked forward into an opposition player, I think that's going to be a no try.
There's nothing wrong with that. One would suggest he's going to say that it was knocked out of the hands by Minicello and that it's a try. You're checking the grounding. It's got to be a try. He's got to say it's a try.
Well, that's... I honestly can't... I'd like another look at it, but I can't agree if that's the way he's going to go.
Steve Nash is the man making the decision. And there is the try to Stephen Bell. 5 in 4 games for Manly. He scored a try in every match he's played in Sea Eagles colours this season. Here it is again. You be the judge at home.
Well, there's no doubt Steve Menzies gets contact with it. Well, I think Menzies knocks it forward. I mean, I can't agree with referee Steve Nash. Scotty, how do you see it?
Yeah, when we're looking at benefit of the doubt, I think it's just simultaneous. I think if both people make contact, I think the ball just... I don't think it's cut and dry that it actually hits Minicello. I haven't got a problem with the actual try being awarded.
That's what makes it so hard for a video referee. 2 differing opinions here. And Steve Nash is the man that made the decision, and that decision, with the conversion from Matt Orford, means that Manly is back to within 4. Amos Roberts with the restart. Still 27.5 minutes remain, and just 4 points the difference. There's Hasler beginning a little bit nervous and edgy in the box. He's already nervous and edgy.
2, hold, go.
What, Mo?
3, short side.
There's Ricky Stewart, David Gillespie on the touchline. Dunley.
4, Ashley. 4, hold, go.
So Orford from inside his 40. Perrott is back there and has it well covered. As Minicello to his right. Will he use him? He does. Back on the inside. Can't get away. In fact, he does from Hicks, who comes again with Bell to make the tackle. And so the Roosters, it's their turn to work it out from their own end.
And this is the real challenge for Manly. They need to... they need to be able to put pressure on the Roosters. I was going to say keep them deep down inside their territory, but as we saw on that occasion, the defensive line just gets a bit sloppy. They take their foot off the accelerator in defence, and the Roosters find it too easy to get upfield.
Solid body contact once again. Kite the last man up. Shackleton, and then playing the football, Morley. Tackled right on the halfway line. Almost in centre field. Wing comes to the left to Anasta. He kicks straight down the middle of the field. Not the best of kicks from both Anasta, and Stewart has it easily covered. It was a good chase from the Roosters, but 20-odd metres out from their own line, Manly. Kennedy.
And Ben Kennedy's numbers have been great tonight. He leads the hit-ups for the Manly side with 13 hit-ups. He's the work rate in defence. He's looking to lift this side once again. He's basically leading by example. He's saying, fellas, get in here. We're a chance of winning this game. Let's get over the advantage line. Great run from Dunley.
Trying to catch the defence offside, but he ran 10 metres before coming in contact with Soward. Here's Burns. He now straightens and accelerates and almost got through, and Menzies was lurking in support. Last tackle here for Manly. Orford back to the centre of the field again. Stewart comes flying. It was taken in the field of play by Flannery, bending to the in-goal area. So it's a goal line dropout.
And you've seen the last 5 minutes of tide starting to turn. You've noticed that the enthusiasm of the Manly Sea Eagles is starting to get up in the face of the Roosters. As you see the reverse kick here, which has been quite successful in regards to field position for them tonight. The Roosters were on their guard. They knew it was coming. Good cover there from Flannery, but still, a repeat set in rugby league are priceless.
Well, it's the first time tonight we've seen a repeat set from either side. Both teams haven't been patient when they've been down the other end of the field. Manly get a crack at them. The Roosters are looking very vulnerable.
Menzies with a shallow kick from Soward off the side of his left boot. And so now they're 22 metres out from the line. Kite. 15 metres away. Dunley at acting half. Here comes King, who straightens back towards the middle. Slowish play the ball, though. Dunley turns it inside to Kennedy. Harrison was there waiting for him. He's only half a metre away from the line.
Stand up.
Burns at acting half. Now Orford, dummy, going himself, looking to create something. Stewart Bell's on his outside. Give it to him, he'll score. Can he stay in the field of play? He can, but he's throwing the football away. Just disorganised play there from Manly, and they've just gifted the football back to the Roosters.
And that's an example of the impatience we've talked about tonight that has soured the performance of both teams when they're down deep down in the opposition's territory. Roosters' defence looked very, very dicey, but
Too late, mate.
man,
Jason, it's just a flop. Keep the rubbish out, right? That's good work. Ryan, you got the penalty, mate. Silly stuff.
well, we know that the flops aren't permitted, and they're fired up. Manly, they know they're on the verge, causing an upset in the eyes of many people, and they're starting to get real physical.
We've seen over the years, as you see, another penalty here around the ruck.
It's 2 in a row. You got to move. Here's the mark.
Craig Wing takes a quick tap. He put the whistle in his mouth, Tony Archer. Didn't blow it and said play on. And the Manly players, Menzies and Kennedy, were up talking to the referee. The tackle made there by Brent Kite. This will fire Manly up in this set. And Astor plays it. Now Shackleton, Menzies into the rib cage, and the tackle made by Watmo in the end. Harrison on his outside plum. Runs there at Burns and King, who make the tackle inside the 20. Wings at acting half. Soured to Anasta, Minicello from the back, linking up there with Roberts. And the tackle is made on the far side of the field. Manly players come running from everywhere, trying to force Roberts over the touchline. There's no one at acting half. Now they finally just get in there. Anasta has knocked the ball forward and hit by Kite, unprotected in the ribs in the back.
Well, good pressure there from Manly in defence, but it seems to me they think they need controversy to get them going again in this game. Well, they can create as much pressure as they can just through pure enthusiasm, but they need controversy to get back in this game. Well, they've got to get away from that.
Could easily have got a penalty there.
Stand up.
Burns, 5 short of halfway.
Go.
Kennedy pops the ball back to Monahan, who's back on. Here's Orford into space, away from one, tries to get around Minicello. Can Minicello come again? He does, but let's go. And the try has been scored by Matt Orford. They released the tackle player, and Orford got up and went again, and we're all level at Brookvale. Matt Orford showed terrific acceleration, and the Sea Eagles will hit the lead when Orford converts his own try.
Well, there was absolutely nothing doing on that occasion. The ball goes to Ben Kennedy. The defence is up in his face, but the inside defenders didn't work. And Matty Orford, the speed, just hits the accelerator. Great footwork, turns Minicello inside out. Jamie Soward comes. Neither of them are able to shut Matty Orford down, and his momentum carries him over the line.
Great offload from Benny Kennedy. Monahan just fresh on the field. Look at the speed of Matt Orford. Stands up Anthony Minicello here, and Soward comes late. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone does keep any hands on him here at all.
Inside the final 20 minutes. There's plenty of points left in this game. And he adds the extras, converts his own try. And so Manly, for the first time, lead by 24 points to 22. 19 minutes of play remaining.
Big creating pressure from other sources, but if it's the way that makes them tick, puts them in the lead by 2 points.
King returning the football. Now Kite. Good run from Kite, bounced away from a couple. Kennedy, and they've brought the crowd well and truly into the game, Manly. And the Roosters look a little bit tired, a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Haven't had much football of late. It's almost 50-50 after being 60-40 about 10 minutes ago. Bell stepping.
4.
On 4. Looking to get to his feet to play the ball. Soliola could have been penalised. Monahan throwing the dummy and is finally tackled on 5. Orford running to the left. Stewart at acting half. Orford now keeping the ball on the ground. Minicello picked it up magnificently. The crowd thought that Maddai was taken out in the run through, and now the Roosters have done a Manly and thrown it away, have they? No, Soward comes up with it. Maybe it's this end of the field.
Hold! Go.
Soliola. They just haven't had much football of late, the Roosters.
And that's been the way that the game has progressed. I mean, whoever's controlled possession has come up with the points. And both teams are starting to look really vulnerable in and around the rucks.
Inside.
And both teams have completed 23 of 33. It's now 24 of 34 for the Roosters. Stewart stumbling as he comes to the defence. Surrender called by the referee. Finch is back on for the Roosters.
Turn, move! Hold.
So Manly dominating the second half possession as Orford gets in the way of Kite.
Well, it's that second phase play that's caused all sorts of problems for the Roosters tonight. We saw another example of it just then. Manly's ability to keep the ball alive, pop it back, and promote the football either back on the outside or particularly on the inside is causing problems.
Hold. Off second marker 8.
Orford. Now Burns. Menzies looking for Bell. Finds him away from Harrison.
Last one.
Fifth tackle. They're 30 metres away. Orford. He puts it high to Minicello, who does well under very little pressure really, and runs into Anthony Watmo. And the flying boots have copped Ben Kennedy. Bang, copped a stray boot. Kennedy in the jaw. He's out on the left wing at the moment.
Yeah, the back row from Manly have been outstanding tonight. Menzies, Watmo and Ben Kennedy really making the Roosters forwards in particular work hard for every inch that they make.
We see they're very flat line from the Roosters. There's no real depth in their attack. Obviously shows it's a good sign of fatigue on their part.
Glad to see Luke Williamson come on for the first time tonight for Manly.
Last one. Go.
So, kicking between the winger and fullback. It may have too much on it. No, it bounces very nicely for the Roosters. And so Stewart has to work it out from his own in goal. Dummies to Robertson and put the foot down and almost got away from Soliola.
You can see one thing the Roosters aren't doing is they're not panicking. They're getting good kicks away. Their kick chase is solid. The defensive line's getting set very, very early. What we do have to remember is the last 2 weeks they've racked up a lot of points in the last 20, 25 minutes of the second half. So Manly have got to be ready for that onslaught.
Yeah, well, the Roosters realise that they've got plenty of attacking potential in the team. They know they can score 50-metre tries. They've scored more 50-metre tries, long-range tries than any other team in the competition. They've just got to complete their sets and be patient. There's still 15 minutes to go. That's a long time in rugby league.
Ben Kennedy coming off and Luke Williamson on for Manly as Orford kicks for the corner and will find it. A very good kick from Matt Orford, which will just give his forwards the chance to take their time to get to the scrum and wind that clock down a little bit. They only lead by 2 though, Manly. And Finch picks it up at lock and finds Cross.
Move. Hold. Go.
Finch. Williamson.
Turn, Luke.
I didn't think it was at marker then. Could have been penalised. And Minicello. Got away from Burns on the first occasion, but not the second. 10 short of the halfway line. Flannery takes out Soliola to Roberts. They just don't have any spark at the moment, the Roosters. They've done a lot of defensive work lately. It seems to be taking the jolt out of their attack as Soward is tackled and falls back.
Last one. Hold. Hold. Go.
And Asta, they're going to run it on this occasion. Soliola got the arms free. Roberts picked it up and kicked in the one motion. And Menzies is back there to cover up from Manly. That was better play from the Roosters, but Stephen Menzies, all his experience, was back there to tidy up for the Sea Eagles.
He seems to be all over the field, but tremendous skills on that short side. Braithen Astor elected to run the ball in the last tackle. Soliolo showed great hands. And Amos Roberts, well, fantastic catch and kick in the one motion. But there he is, the Beaver. As I said, their back row's been outstanding tonight. He'll sleep well. His stats have been high. He's 32 tackles, 10 hit-ups, and they've all been quality.
He's played in excess of 250 first-grade games, Stephen Menzies, 290-odd. Like, you can count on one hand the bad games he's played throughout his career, Steve Menzies. And kick from Monahan between Perrott and Minicello. But Perrott's the one to do the work as Minicello pointed to him and stayed in the middle of the field. And the Roosters struggling to get back here. So the back's having to do the work, and Ryan Cross is tackled. About 27 out from his own line, 10 in from this western touchline. It's given. Long ball from Finch, an awkward bounce. No one wanted it, so Flannery ups it to Soliola, back to Flannery. Now to Soward. The crowd thought it was forward. Just got nothing at the moment, the Roosters.
They're looking very flat. They've got away from their advantage line running, their power running through the forwards. They're obviously very, very tired. And Manly defence is holding. It was looked vulnerable earlier, but they've patched up those vulnerable areas around the ruck.
Braithen Astor with a kick straight to Stewart again. Surrender! And brings it back over the 30. Surrender called by referee Tony Archer. We're about to see another change being made from Manly as Michael Robertson had to reach behind him. Matai put the foot down and almost got through inside the final 11. And it may have hurt him. In fact, it has. Matai up limping there. You can see in back play. Tupou with the tackle, trying to strip that ball. There's Matai limping away. Missed a couple of weeks with a calf problem. There's now Watmo. Pops the ball back, but pops it straight to Chris Flannery.
Good decision there from Soliola. He came in off his right-hand centre position to put pressure on that ball receiver. Good decision from the centre.
Roberts. 5 short of halfway. Who is going to spark something here from the Roosters?
Yeah, I think the Roosters are looking around for someone to make a bust. I think it's going to be either this man Anthony Tupou or Craig Wing, who's going to be thrown into the fray very, very shortly. He's the man most likely, in my opinion.
And Astor. Great tackle, Steve Menzies. Forced the error from Braithen Astor. What a game Stephen Menzies is having tonight. 32 tackles, 10 hit-ups.
And he still looks pretty fresh. I mean, he's wandering around out there, but he plays almost 80 minutes just about every week. And as I mentioned before, it's quality work. He doesn't say too much out there on the field, but he leads by example. And another penalty to Manly.
Anthony Watmo coming off and Ben Kennedy coming on.
Well, the question mark here is whether they take the shot for goal or keep the pressure on. I think it'd be advisable to keep the pressure on. Take the shot for goal, that only makes it a 4-point ball game. Not enough to stay out of danger. So they're going to keep the pressure on. The crowd's really going to get behind them here.
Bryant, they're 10 away from the goal line. Manly, they lead by 2. We're inside the final 10. Cuthbertson, 5 away from the line now. Monahan at acting half. Dummies one way, goes the other short. They must score. Matai has dropped it. Was he tackled without the ball by Amos Roberts? Here comes the touch judge. I think he was.
Here you want. Johnny, down here. Johnny.
They just grabbed anyone.
Whoever the player was, grabbed the player before he had the ball, had no opportunity whatsoever to get. Thank you. Just pulled him out on the way through. Okay, it's a penalty up here.
Jesus, close to a penalty try. I know you've got to be absolutely certain, but if Steve Matai hadn't scored there, if he took the ball on the full,
well, mate, all he had to do was take it. His momentum would have carried him over the field. So you're right. I mean, I would have
at least a sin bin.
Should have gone to a replay to have a look at just how close he was to being a try.
Orford straight through as he know the tackle made by Harrison. They're under siege here, the Roosters. Manly can sniff a win. Kennedy runs at an Asta. Tupou there as well. Finch with the tackle. Monahan, Cuthbertson. Can't quite force the ball. He's forced back into the field to play. Monahan at acting half. Long ball to Burns. Burns steps inside Morley. Goes himself. They're in this time, Manly. They have scored. We're going upstairs to check it.
I just want to check a sweeper over there.
There was a Manly player. I think it may have been King or Cuthbertson. I'm not sure. I think it was King who may have impeded with the defence.
Yeah,
Kennedy came. This is King, I think, is it?
Yeah, well, he's in an offside position, sloppy position. Well, the man, he steps back inside. He doesn't obstruct Craig Fitzgibbons, I think, the player that was in question there.
Bryant's the man.
Yeah, but Craig Fitzgibbon was the defender who was obstructed, but I don't think he was in a position to make the tackle anyway, because Burns went back on the inside. So we can see here, Burns steps back inside. Fitzgibbons is going the wrong way anyway. Morley was the man who was going to make the tackle, although Fitzgibbons was in a position maybe to come back as a cover defender. So, well, yeah, this is going to be a big call. Big call.
Here's the decision. Try, and benefit of the doubt comes up. And so Manly now lead by 6 and Orford to make it 8. 6 the difference. He's kicked magnificently so far tonight. And he adds the extra 2, an important 2 points to make it 8 points the difference.
Early on, the Roosters threw a whole lot of aggression at Manly. Terrible kickoff.
They've gone the short kick and it's only gone about a metre forward. So Manly will take their time. And there it is again. They're all on side, but it just never looked like going 10 metres.
No. Not only do Manly get possession, it chews up more time on the clock. And as I mentioned earlier, the Roosters came out firing. They really put the acid on, aggression-wise, on Manly. Manly struggled a little bit early, but they've maintained their composure, and they've caused problems with their second phase attack as well. The ability to keep the ball alive, it's caused problems for the Roosters.
Their last 5 wins at home, Manly, they've come from behind to do so. This will make it 6 in a row. Should they do it, Burns does well to hang on to the football. A try here will certainly put the game out of the reach of the Roosters if it isn't already. Cuthbertson. And if they can't score here, they've just got to get a repeat set. Orford looking for the in goal. Here comes the chase. It's up there for Robertson, who's lost the football. That was the game, surely. And he's hurt himself too.
Wait.
Yeah, it was a perfectly weighted little kick end on end. Bounce. They can bounce anywhere, those balls. Michael Robertson looks like he's injured a shoulder. Something like that. Now, Roosters need to move the football around. They've got to take some risks. They've got to score twice, which means that they can't afford to just battle it over the advantage line. They've got to give it some air.
And they've got to go to the wing of Michael Robertson, surely. He's only got one arm at the moment. They're going away from that wing. There he is with the trainer. If not run that way, at least kick it that way on 5.
Well, they're short on numbers as well, so, I mean, they've got to...
Now Soward looking for Minicello back on the inside. He'll eventually go that way. Soliola's dropped it. Maddai's picked it up but also dropped it. That's the game.
Well, that's nerves also. I mean, that is nerves.
Ball in, out.
So Manly need to get to their kick here and find touch or pin the Roosters deep in their own territory, or even better, in the in-goal area. Kennedy. He's been terrific along with Menzies and Watmoe tonight. Bryant's been great also. And Cuthbertson's made an impact when he's come on the field. There's Bryant. 17 tackles, 15 hit-ups off the bench. Stewart. Tackle number 4. With 3.5 to go. Surely time has run out here for the Roosters. After they led 22 points to 12. Monahan will find touch. Just winding the clock down. and the Roosters. How keen are they to get to this scrum? There they are racing to it. And they finally pack it.
Well, the Roosters have got to score on this set, underneath the post, quick kick-off, the only chance. And that's about 500,000 to 1 chance of winning this game from here. But full marks to Manly. They have really bounced back. They showed a lot of character. They were on the rack. The Roosters were playing well, but they've hung in there, and they've got better and better the longer this game's gone. And Matty Orford has been outstanding tonight, really gelled, and with Travis Burns in the halves combination there.
Been a terrific win for Manly. Orford's been terrific, but on the platform laid by his forwards. The possession now 50-50 after it was 60-40 to the Roosters for most of the match, and Ryan Cross does well to stay in right on the halfway line. Perrott, Finch, back to Cross. There's no way there. Manly's defence holds well.
Go forward. That's enough, Ryan. Don't go forward. Good, mate.
Finch. Harrison. Minicello coming inside, going outside. Soliola to Roberts. Back to Minicello. But away from King. 2 minutes to go now. Finch back down the blind side. Perrott, who's come from the left wing to the right side of the field. Harrison, so they've got no winger this side. Back to Soward. Manly's defence is holding, but going forward there is wing changeover. Manly's defence outstanding, and that certainly is the game now.
Yeah, smart play there by Manly. They didn't rush up in defence. They just held their line, slid across field, and forced the Roosters to make the play. They didn't come out of the line, create any holes, and the Roosters really couldn't find a way through there.
90 seconds remain. 20 metres out from their own line. Williamson plays it. Matai. Terrific performance by Manly. They trailed 20-12 at half-time and 22-12 early in the second half. And they've scored 18 points straight. Menzies has been great. Now Hicks. Can they add the icing to the cake? Not a great kick from Hicks. He chases it up, but Perrott is back there, runs it over the dead ball line. I suppose they don't care, Manly, because they know they've won the game. So does their coach, Des Hasler. The Roosters desperate to get back there. Ryan Cross racing to get back over that goal line.
Desi Hasler in the coach's box there would be delighted. They started the season first round against Canberra. Their defence was absolutely atrocious. He's worked hard on that, and tonight their defence has more than matched the Roosters. Once again, Steve Menzies involved in that play. Really inspirational. Ben Kennedy, Steve Menzies, and Anthony Watmo.
Orford throws an ordinary ball off the leg of Amos Roberts. It went forward and hit a Roosters player, which means it's a forward pass stroke knock on. And the crowd will count the clock down as the Roosters pack the scrum with just seconds remaining. They're after an 8-point try. Although I think deep down they really know they're gone with 4 seconds to go, now 3. They will throw everything at them. That is last play. Soward kicking. No one's chasing, no. Stewart is back there. Soward's the only one chasing with Finch. Kennedy picks it up. He'll just run it over the touchline, and that will be full time. A remarkable win for Manly. Full time at Brookvale Oval. Manly 30, the Sydney Roosters 22.
This has been a Fox Sports production for the National Rugby League Partnership. This footy update brought to you by Tui's New. For the